Sixth Sense. Tonight we have psychic Chris Medina in the studio for a special night of live readings along with our nightcap, MaliBOO and Pineapple. Tonight on It's Complicated.
You're listening to It's Complicated with your hosts Jennifer Golden and Lauren Leonelli, coming to you live from the AfterBuzz TV studios in Los Angeles, California.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of It's Complicated.
The struggle is real when you're dating in the city.
I am Lauren.
And I am Jen. And tonight, guys, we're discussing how to tap into your intuition when it comes to love and life with psychic Chris Medina.
You guys, we are super excited. Chris Medina is a natural-born psychic medium with Native American ancestry, Apache, born and raised in LA, California. His earliest memory of having these abilities was when he was about 3 or 4 years old, which is extremely young. After a lifetime of practice and honing his skills, Chris decided to become a full-time professional psychic medium.
And he's known for his brutal honesty and no-nonsense approach, which we love around here. So can't wait to hear what he says to us. But Chris is changing lives all over the world with his unique ability, guys. And you will see it again firsthand here tonight. Yeah. Not one to follow mainstream love and light gimmicks, thank God, because if one more person sends a rainbow or a purple heart to soften the blow, I'm gonna kill someone.
Yeah, come on.
Warned you. But yeah, so his methods empower people with his insight and guide people to discover their true self, making it a personal journey for each individual he reads. And you're going to see mine is different from Lauren's and vice versa.
Yes. And also, you guys, if you are wanting to grow and tap into like intuition and help all areas of your life, then we have another podcast for you, because you can listen to this one and get some tips. You can also listen to a podcast, Conversations with Maria. That is right, you guys. This is the podcast edition hosted by our AfterBuzz TV founder, Maria Menounos, and it drops every Friday on iTunes. She talks about life and how you can learn and grow and all the things.
All the things, and she features celebrity and influencer interviews along with secrets and tips on how to be better in all aspects of life, from health and wellness to career and relationships, finances, and more. Let our Maria be the big sister you never had. Yes. She is for us. So just go to iTunes and subscribe to Conversations with Maria Menounos for free. Be sure, that was like that commercial.
For free!
Just be sure to rate and comment, and when you do, let Maria know who got you to her podcast. That was your favorite two drunk girls, Jen and Lauren, from It's Complicated. So Conversations with Maria Menounos, podcast edition. Check it out.
That's right, guys. And we are really excited to check out. Our guest is here.
Psychic, astrologist, medium, and intuitive. He does it all, guys. Welcome to the studio, Chris Medina.
Thank you, guys. What a pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much for coming. And you guys, Chris brought us flowers.
We do accept these roses.
Yes, we do.
We're like the bachelorettes.
I'm so excited. This is just going to be we've got a really fun drink, and we've got beautiful flowers, and we're about to get told what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Our drink is, of course, very thematic.
Yes, it is.
It is our MaliBOO, get it, guys, and Pineapple, because Malibu rum is Chris's favorite spirit. And we added a dash of pineapple to lighten the flavor and the mood before we hear what the future holds for us regarding love. No pressure.
No pressure. So I've already had like half of the drink, and good thing I've got this next to me, because I'm going to, I think, give myself a little topper right now. Okay. Cheers.
Cheers, ladies.
Cheers.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm just going to give myself a little, this is dangerous, this Malibu rum.
Do what you got to do.
It's so sweet and good.
It's so sweet, and like you don't even feel like there's alcohol in here, so I'm just going to make sure that there's alcohol in mine.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like I should.
Yeah, but you weren't sure before. Now, well, we're still not sure.
And it'll be easier for me to read and take advantage of you guys. So,
yes,
yeah,
that's
perfect.
I love that.
Drink
up.
Yeah.
That's going to just make it all the more better.
Yeah. And guys, also don't forget to connect with us on all the socials at Complicated Show. You can, send us questions and all the things.
Yeah.
And let us know if you like our drink, because you're drinking along with us,
yes.
and what you thought of this exciting experience tonight.
Right. It's going to be very exciting. And tonight, So, of course, like we said, we've got Chris here, who is a psychic medium. And I personally believe that everyone has the ability on some way, shape, or form to tap into something, whether you call it your intuition or whether you're on another level like Chris. But we're going to talk a little bit about, before we get into our readings and like how that can relate and teach everyone lessons and like what we can do. We're going to talk about trusting your gut and your intuition and how Chris can sort of give you tips on how to pay attention to that, because you obviously you've very tapped into that sense, right?
Yep.
So when it comes to love and life and relationships, like we often hear that, like, oh, just trust your gut, trust your like.
I'm like, where do you
what the
find
fuck does that
gut?
even mean?
Is that an organ? Like,
Yeah,
I
like,
don't.
what does
I
that
thought
even
was
mean?
A fatty pocket? Like what?
Yeah.
People ask me that all the time. I do readings all day long, pretty much every day, and they ask, and I always tell people, you are naturally intuitive. Whether you choose to listen to it or not is a different story. And when they're like, well, how would I tap into it, or what should I be looking for? The truth. I don't think people spend enough time to really think about what's going on with them, or want to be truthful about their situation, or who they are as a person. I feel like a lot of times people wear masks and they're afraid to take them off because they don't want to be vulnerable, or they don't want to get to the root. They really don't want to get to the root of what's really going on with them. So,
But how would that person know that it's their truth? Like, let's just say they're not necessarily healthy in like their mental and emotional state. So let's say they even meditate and they hear things, but what if what they're hearing isn't the truth because they've like come up with some other version of
They're
the
telling
answer?
themselves, yeah, because sometimes I have friends who like will go to therapists and tell stories, and I'm like, listen, dude, I think you're telling your version of the story. I don't know how good your therapist is or not, but I'm just saying it's all about perception and what you take a situation coming at you, how you're perceiving it, and then retelling the story to yourself or to someone else. That's an altered state of reality, potentially.
right. My one thing, I'm by no means shitting on therapy or psychology or psychiatry or anything like that, but who knows you better than you know yourself? Who really, honestly?
Yeah.
That's what I tell my clients all the time. I don't know you any better than you know yourself here. Be honest with what's going on with you. Be truthful about it. Don't get to the core of what's going on. You keep sweeping that shit under the rug, you're going to trip over it.
Yeah.
So start dealing with some of the things, like break down some of those walls, those barriers that we talked about earlier, and get to the core of who you are. And again, if we're having issues finding somebody, or there's relationship issues and we're not sure whether or not we're going to find anybody, or I'm going to find my potential match, go for someone that's on your level, someone that would understand who you are. There's someone for everyone out there. I know that sounds a little love and light or hokey or whatever, but it's true though.
Do you believe like there's one person for everybody, or that like, you know, your story is sort of like navigated through decisions and choices you make, and that brings you ultimately to whatever you're supposed to be at that time?
Definitely. I think that we go through phases and lessons through life, and whether you choose to call them your guides, angels, or messengers, I usually just say they, but people want to know who they are, so I'm going to use the word guides, for lack of a better word. Put people and lessons into your life. I've gone through several relationships here, and I've learned something from each and every one of them. So finding out what they bring to the table, or what the lesson is. Again, it's so different for me because I actually look for that shit. I've been around the block so many times, and I found that if I don't listen or pay attention to it, that the outcome's going to be a lot harder for me. So I choose to go in it with an open mind and say, okay, what are we doing here together?
Okay.
Does
You're
that
just
make
very
sense?
vocal about where you want to go or what you're looking for or whatever.
I don't believe in settling.
No,
Yeah.
neither do I. Okay, but so now if you're in a relationship, let's just take one of these ones that haven't worked out in the past for whatever reason. Maybe they have because we can call them that they were a lesson, so it worked out for that reason.
Right.
Well, isn't there a saying, you're in my life for a reason, a season, or a
and then-
lifetime?
yeah.
Some version of that quote. But
I think you got it right for once.
good. Great me. Cheers.
Yay.
So
Yeah, to actually drink it, because
Yeah.
I feel like we're going to need it.
yeah. So let's say we'll use me for example. I was in a relationship. Now, could I have made that one work out, or was it just never going to work out because that was not part of my like long-term story? It was like just a lesson.
Or were there like choices that were made in the course of the story of the relationship that navigated it different directions?
With we're talking about you personally.
Yeah.
Now, I feel like you repeat patterns, or you go back. You don't. I feel like you know what the lesson is, but you have a hard time getting yourself out of it because you're so used to going that same route here. So I felt like it didn't work out because you were repeating the same shit over and over again here. So again, allowing the relationship to be, I guess if we want to say 50-50, But again, with somebody like you, it's going to be 70-30. You're going to take on 70% of the responsibility because that's just who you are as a person. But you got to learn to learn the lesson so you can move on.
I've been saying that
But
I am
that's
tired of being the Rock, and I would like someone
Okay,
else
but
to be
that's
the Rock.
fine. But I have a question.
Go ahead.
I have a question though. If that's her personality, and she's like the type of person who might just in any relationship, friend, work, love, like family, like she is the one that holds like 70% of the thing because she does it, because that's what she does. Then why is that a bad thing if that's just her? Like maybe she's telling herself that's not what she wants, but maybe that's who she is, and she just needs to be able to do it.
Since I'm here.
But I'm saying though, like, right?
No, because
Why
I
would
will
that
say
be a
this,
bad thing?
this now goes with what you're saying about the truth. The truth is I'm like real good at that stuff. So I do it because other people can't. But not because I want to. I'm tired. I don't want to do it anymore. It's stressful. Like, everyone needs to get it together so I don't have to do it anymore.
Her motto is, if you want something done right, you got to do it yourself.
Yeah, I say
pretty
that.
much.
It's like he knows me.
Yeah, it's like he's fucking psychic.
Right? I mean,
You should go into that business.
Has anyone ever told you?
You're quite intuitive.
But like when you're, so you, I mean, and this gut, this intuition, this instinct can come to manifest itself in many different ways for people. It can be a voice, it can be a sign, it can be just something you feel like keeps coming up over and over again. Like, right? Is there, because there's not like a black and white answer. Like,
but are you really looking for it though? That's what I ask
Yeah.
people. When it comes up, when you're asking, again, I can't include myself in this, but this is what I do because I'm lazy, because I hate change, and I hate saying goodbyes. Like I'm so weird. I will never watch the end of like a reality show because I hate goodbyes. So I purposely.
are you serious?
I can't.
What are you going to do tonight when we like leave to go to our homes?
I'm gonna get in the car and start crying.
Yeah. Yeah. He's like we're gonna be like, okay, bye, and he's already gone.
Well, he'll probably send like a spirit guide to watch over us.
Yeah, that's fine.
I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Yeah, and then just that's it.
just
like
bolt.
Irish goodbye.
But
I love it.
Yeah, I just I tell them, I honestly tell them, you know that I'm lazy, you know that I hate change. Do whatever needs to be done. Remove anybody in my life that doesn't need to be here anymore, or if I'm wasting time on something, get rid of it. Just do it. And I'm telling you, they rip shit out. But you have to be willing to accept
But
it.
you have to be willing to see what they're showing you, they are showing you, in order to make the choice ultimately. Because you can ask for it, but then you have to actually finish it.
And be willing to finish it. Be willing to let go and not hold yourself back. A lot of times we hold ourselves back. The majority of my readings, I'm telling people, you're sitting on your own hands. There's nobody here that has the power, especially with you two. There's nobody that has the power to tell you guys what to do or hold you back. You wouldn't allow it, and you wouldn't allow it. It's not in the cards for you guys. Well, now I'm speaking to you like you're right here, but it would be you holding yourself back. You know what's wrong here. Why are you repeating why are you repeating it? And if you're looking for a male that's like she said that that's just her personality, find somebody that matches that personality. Like I'm honest with my relationships. I'll tell people out loud, I need someone that's going to put me in my place, not smack the shit out of me, but be like, Chris, you're being too aggressive, or you're being such a baby, or stop being such a bitch, and not afraid to put me in my place or to tell me
Yeah.
what's up.
And when you give someone when you tell somebody that that's what you want or you need, you give them the ability to, and the courage to
empower them to do it.
Because sometimes people just don't, there's so many things going through your mind on the other end. Like, I don't want, you're trying to manage people's, feelings about you too. When you're scared to be vulnerable, you also don't want to come off looking like a bitch, or you don't want to come off looking like you're controlling, or like you're being not a cool girl or whatever. And so then you start to like try and do that kind of like managing of what you look like, and can be there's a lot. That's why I think it's so hard to listen to the gut, because there's a lot, especially for me. I can speak for myself and say there's a lot going on inside here.
Because we can tell you personally, speaking to you directly, we can tell you one thing and you'll spin it. You'll overanalyze it and you'll keep messing with it. What did they really mean by that? What was there something else to that? It can't just be that. So you tend to overanalyze instead of just leaving it alone, walking away from it, letting it develop.
So we normally play a drinking game on this show. I'm going to just say we should drink to everything he says that's correct.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna be drunk.
Oh, good.
Well,
yeah.
you're not. Well, you will know because you're saying it, but we're gonna be drinking a lot. Like
I
just
mean,
now,
that
nailed
was,
it.
Yeah, I do that, and I know that I do it. I know that I do it. I know that I overanalyze things, and I do have a problem just letting something be said and letting it be. Yes. And so yeah, I mean, I think because I do have the ultimate I have this desire constantly to figure out what the truth is. Like, what does that mean? What is the truth? Why are you doing that? What does it have to do with? Like,
Maybe you should have been a psychologist.
I have had a therapist tell me that one time. But
Or an investigative reporter.
So I feel like I constantly need, like, sometimes I just need to fucking, like, let it go and just be.
Or just let it develop.
Yeah.
Take a step back and just leave it, drop it on the floor and walk away from it. So let me give you a quick example. I read, like I said, I read clients all day long, and I've made a lot of good friends. And there's certain people that they're telling when I hang out with them, they're like, "Go give me a quick reading." I'm not going to, because you're going to spin your wheels on it.
Totally.
If I give you a psychic hit, I know that sounds so lame, but if I give you let me give you a futuristic hit,
Yeah.
because it hasn't happened yet, what is that going to do to somebody like you?
Yeah, it's gonna like change your fucking path and make me go, okay, now what do I have to do to make that? Blah, blah, blah. Oh God, oh yeah, no, that's why psychic readings scare me, because I'm like, what? Like I start my wheel.
But you've got a good bullshit meter though too. So I kind of feel like with you can
when it doesn't come to her though. Like I feel like in life, but when it comes to you, you do analyze a lot because it's you.
Yeah.
Like you want to get to the bottom of it because it involves your heart.
Yeah. I trust people. I do. It's not that I'm like, oh, I don't trust. I'm the type of person who trusts you until you take my trust away. You don't. It sounds stupid, but you don't really have to earn my trust. Like I'm gonna trust you. So it's not because of that, but yeah, my analytical nature comes from a search to find an answer constantly. Like I always tell people, like, I'm not that girl. If I'm fucking sick in the hospital and the doctors are like, so Jen, don't tell her, but she's only got a couple hours to live, I will already be telling myself I'm dying. So you better come back in the room and motherfucking tell me that I have 2 hours to live, because I'm already worried about it anyway. My wheels have already spun. Don't fucking keep it from me, because I'll make you fucking tell me.
try being psychic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wait, what is that like on a day-to-day basis? Are you like,
you
oh, I
ever-
can't unsee that?
Do you ever look at someone and just see like doom and you're like, fuck?
look away, look away?
Yeah.
What do you do? Is it
And
your moral responsibility to tell them?
No, I don't. Unless I am not someone that goes and advertises my services, or like if I saw you and I was like, oh, well, you have this. No. Mm-mm. No.
Yeah.
But like, what if? Okay, so
Because you
like,
can ruin someone's life like
Totally.
that.
I know, but what if we want to know?
Oh my God, he just pointed at me. What were you going to say?
that this is gonna happen.
Because
You're a good
if
example.
I told you, if you asked me about, let's just say for instance, relationship, and you asked me what does the future hold for it, and I did this, what would that do?
I would cry.
Yeah.
And then I would be like, that's
Wouldn't
it.
do it. Wouldn't do
So
it.
are you not going to tell me about my relationship because you know that I'll fucking go off on a tangent?
I don't want you to overthink it or overanalyze or make a problem when there's none. So when
the
people
answer is
ask
yes.
me, so I have
He's not gonna tell you.
I have a good. I would tell. Like I told you earlier, don't worry about it. Don't make up. Just be prepared for this. I always try to give insight so you know what's coming.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, call on me.
Yes.
So, I don't do the analyzing things so much, but I do put together like an investigation board where I connect dots because I am on the hunt to figure out what's meant to be. And it's like less the truth, but more like, oh, well, that had to have happened so that then this could happen, so that then I'm here, and fate. Like, I am literally trying all the time to look for signs, but I don't trust myself in finding them because I feel like, well, what do I know? Maybe I'm just putting together dots that don't exist for
Or
real.
you're missing something or
Right.
not. So yeah, exactly.
Or like a cool story I came
how-
up with because I'm a party of one and like making it up.
But how do people like that? Because I could be, I mean, I wouldn't say that I'm like, that's my main focus, but I think everyone maybe does that to an extent or whatever
No, I'm
level.
hunting all the
But
time.
like, how do people
I'm like
pay,
Homeland.
How do people pay attention to the signs? Or like, how do you, just in general, like, how do you make that work for you? Or what do you,
And what's a sign and what's not a sign?
yeah.
Right. Let me ask you this: how much time would you invest on when if I was to tell you you need to go within and do you? Shut all the doors, just cut all the distractions out. How much time would you spend on yourself?
Not much.
Yeah. So
I
you're going to
wouldn't.
get not
Yeah.
much of an answer out of
Yeah,
it.
true.
You,
A lot.
I think with
Tell me the things. I need a recipe so I can follow it.
you're too practical. Where she would overanalyze. You're more of like, okay, it not stubborn, but too logical, practical.
I will tell you
Yes.
this. My new thing is, so I used to hold on to stuff, but now my new thing is not like trying not to hold on to things. Like, let's just say, we'll put it back in the dating world, like a date. I sort of like set everyone up to like potentially not work. Like, I don't expect them to not work, but I also don't see them working. Or I don't have like high hopes anymore, or
Yeah.
like unrealistic expectations where like I go home and write the person's last name with my name. I don't do that anymore. Now I'm like, whatevs. If I hear from him, cool. If I don't, cool.
You're like more indifferent.
But that's
I mean,
that's
but-
putting out shit energy though. I mean, I know that sounds so love and light, and I'm so not about that.
no, but
it's-
it makes sense.
That's
what you're saying.
true.
But it's if you're going into it with kind of like, it's okay for now. You're not allowing yourself. I think with you don't want to be made look like an ass. I feel like you
Ever
don't,
again.
but you learn from it.
Yes. To
You
never
learn.
do it again.
So do you? So the question is, do you trust yourself not to repeat that mistake again?
I do. I really do, actually. I do.
If I can make one prediction, and we'll get into the readings when you guys are ready here. Don't worry about it.
So I am trying, actually. It's like you're in my head.
Yeah, that is a hard thing to do when someone says don't worry
No,
about it. And
I've
we
been
will we're
trying.
going to get into the readings in like a minute.
Yeah.
Really quick, we're going to just talk about like a couple things that, you know, some experts say to pay attention to when trying to listen to your gut or trying to pay attention to this intuition.
advice.
Like, okay, and you can agree with this, Chris, or not, or say what maybe how that works for you because you're on another level of listening to this intuition. But like a lot of people say, like carve out time to reflect, right? So you just said, how much time would you spend on yourself if you shut all the doors? Like that makes
Also, how
sense.
much time should you spend?
Yeah.
Is there like a ballpark
I mean, I
figure?
think it depends on where you're at, probably.
You tell us.
It's. I mean. Everyone's different. Like I would not go into it with the mentality of like let's spend an hour. I would spend at least a kind of carve out maybe at least 15 to 20 minutes a day of just doing you reflecting. Again, I call it checking in. I call it checking in with myself. I know again that sounds so gay and so weird, but I do that before I go to bed. I'm like, what could have I done differently today, or
Yeah,
what was
but
the
that's
lesson?
that's like
I do that.
yeah, no, I think that's good. You're not letting things just float over you.
Yeah.
You know?
Or like, I mean, I feel like people do skate through
Yeah.
Through their
That's good.
lives.
Yeah. I mean,
But
does
see,
anyone else want more?
Yeah, I just chugged it. I thought the
How
whole
is-
audience heard.
How was yours, Chris? Are
It's
you
still full.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
He's busy talking to
He's
us.
busy.
We're busy
Oh.
drinking because we're scared and
But
stuff.
my love, I was just like you. When it came, I was so hardcore and so hard until somebody came along and changed my whole idea of relationships. I used to be the person that if I got into an argument with them, the relationship's over.
Yeah.
We're breaking up. And the person was like, "It's just an argument."
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're gonna get tired of me. You're not gonna put up with my shit or whatever. You'll get sick of it.
But that's part of like also figuring out. I mean, I think, you know, you got to pay attention to what you want and what you need and listen to your gut, but like also don't make everything so precious or so much weight on everything like it's just a fucking argument. Or maybe you're just feeling off today. Like that doesn't mean you have to be like, does that mean my gut's telling me I need to go? You know what I mean? Like
Right.
make sure you're taking it into consideration that just like nothing's fucking perfect. And,
Like, don't
you
be a
know?
hypochondriac about your relationship.
Yeah, don't be a hyper. And you know, also you can give yourself constraints. Like you don't have to. You can tell yourself like, okay, I'm trying to make a decision, or I'm really sad about this thing right now. I did this once when I broke up with like a boyfriend that I had seriously was dating for like 4 years, and I told myself I'm only allowed to cry like right now, and then that's it. And then because I was like crying a lot, and I had to be like. Get it together. Get your fucking life together. And I'm not I don't have a hard time crying, but I just was like, this is it today. That's it. You cry once today, and then be fucking done with it.
That's good though. But I tell clients that all the time. I always say, sit on your pity pot for however long you need to, but don't sit on it for too long because you have to mourn it.
You have to move through it.
You
Yeah.
have to. You have to go through the motions.
I say you get a week after a breakup. 1 week to complain, to talk to different people about it, to cry, wallow, whatever, eat your ice cream. And then you pick yourself back up and go live your life.
But also, in due respect, be aware of your feelings. So, like this expert says, like do a body scan, check in with yourself, right? Like feel, you know, try and get yourself ready for what you think might be coming next or how you're feeling in the moment. And like, don't just not, yes, you want to give yourself constraints, but don't cut off to paying attention to what you're feeling or what you're going through.
Which is great when on dates. If you have an icky feeling, leave. if you don't have an icky feeling, stay.
I have a friend that just went on a horrible date and literally told the person they were having drinks at a bar and literally said they were supposed to be going to a concert after. And he's like, so where's the show? And she goes, that's not happening. And
Just
I was
like that?
it was like, well, if I could get into more detail, I won't now because we
There's a
don't have
nicer
time.
way to say it.
No. This person misrepresented themselves on the app so vastly
Oh,
that
so they
when
deserve
he walked in the
fine.
door and then he was inappropriately like touching and not taking social cues.
Has this person not heard of Me Too?
And it was I mean, it
Hello?
wasn't like a sexually
Open up a
harassing. But
computer.
anyway, I liked that she was paying attention. A lot of the times you're scared to pay attention to what you're feeling, right? She was like, this is not fucking happening. But she was stuck on a date that then you go, oh, fuck, now I have to sit on this date for 4 hours with this guy that I don't want to be here with. No, like at that moment, her voice, her gut, her instinct was saying, like, this is not right. A, I feel betrayed. And B, like, I don't trust this person. And C, like, this is not the person that, anyway. So she
I call
said
it my spidey sense, but you might call it like a
I had a
sixth
spidey
sense or-
I had a spidey sense about my cat the other night. Like literally woke up and like he didn't even, it was like, cause that's like my child. And I had like I knew something was wrong and got up and saw him like sort of not all that great. But anyway, I think there's like a spidey sense, or you call it like second sight, right? So what is that?
Or I'll just say I got a hit.
Okay. And what
Yeah.
is that? Like, how would you articulate that?
To me, it's a psychic hit. Like I just got it. Like, yeah. I got
What
a
do you
psychic
see or
hit.
feel? Like, what is it all like? Okay, when you're reading us and a few, like, do you see like the weird things floating around us that we can't
You
see? Like,
see and hear things, messages.
I said, well, it's I don't hear. It's just it's hard to explain. It's just implanted in there. But I see what goes on in your everyday life. How you. I know that sounds weird and maybe a little intrusive, but I see how you think in the way the thoughts weigh on you specifically. And what you're going through and what you're feeling. So they show me glimpses of it, like you could be sitting there like this, and that'll tell me something in my mind.
That's like the message
Interesting.
that is interpreted a certain way by you. So if somebody or something is trying to tell you something, they will use that symbol for you to then repeat what you're. And what about when you're connecting with someone? You also can connect with people who have crossed over.
Yeah.
So what do they? It's same thing. It's you're either seeing a symbol or you're hearing something.
That works a little differently. I will not if I know it sounds weird. If someone from the other side is coming through, or someone that's passed on is coming through in a reading, I wait and listen. They'll shout things out, or they'll tell me to tell that person certain things. But I wait till they give it like at least 4 or 5 times, and they keep going.
like
because
they're very persistent.
Yeah, because then I don't want to. I know it sounds weird. I don't want to let everybody in, because then it's hard to sleep at night.
Okay.
That's
okay.
Wow,
That makes sense.
you do have
okay.
to,
Well,
okay. So wait, real fast. How did you even? I know we said that you realized you had some sort of psychic abilities when you were like 3 or 4. But how do you then take that and turn it into a career? Is there like something you study? Let's just say today, Lauren and I want to become psychics. Like, how do you go through?
you can't just want to.
But that's what I'm saying. If
Jen.
we all have it in us, like, I'm not saying that we should go do this, but like, what was
How do
your
we-
process
yeah.
like for you to develop it and work with it?
It happened at a young age. I remember I'm old, so I had asthma as a kid, and I was in the hospital, and back then they put you in a plastic bubble, literally
Oh,
a
yeah,
plastic
uh-huh,
bubble.
yeah.
And I was in there, and I was so tired and so drained. I got tired of being shot with steroids and shit like that, and I had told, I just was praying, this is like at the age of like 4 or 5, I think, and I had prayed and said, it's okay, I'm not afraid to die. I'm
Wow.
so tired, I want to die. And I just heard, you're not going to die.
And you were like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, and I was like, "What do you?" mean? I asked in my head. I just was answering back in my head, and they had said, "You came here. You came here to do something different. More or less, that's what it was. You came here to do something different, and it's not time for you to go yet."
Wow.
And so, yeah.
Wait, okay, so now you're having this conversation with yourself, and I will say out loud before I keep going, I have had conversations with myself, but I never know if it's me and like my conscience or me and something greater. So I question it when I'm doing it. I'm like, well, that's just me teaching myself a lesson, like, because I know better, or like I'm talking to myself.
See, that's what I did too. I was like, "Is it?
You rationalize.
Is it weird?" Exactly.
Yeah,
It's like, is
course I
it
do.
weird, or why did that come through? And I would play with it. I would say, "Okay, give me another sign. Let me know if this is what I should be doing." And they would always come back. Or if I was getting on the verge of doing something wrong, they would warn, "Don't do it," or whatever.
Oh,
so
interesting.
I took a lot of time. The way that I grew up, I spent a lot of time by myself. My mom was a single parent. She would work all day long into the night. So I was stuck taking care of my sister and doing house stuff and kind of just being all alone. So I spent a lot of time by myself thinking about things and getting hits and kind of putting 2 and 2 together.
Okay.
So it's different for somebody like me. Versus,
Yeah, it's different. It's on another level. Like you could be having a conversation with yourself, or maybe hearing maybe tapping into something potentially, but like that.
I didn't know if it was maybe like I'm an only child, so like I'm like maybe it's an only child thing. Like I didn't have friends or siblings, so I just started talking to myself. But I do like
Everyone talks to themselves, so
but
I think that's
it
okay.
gets
But we
like
lose sight of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
like when I know it sounds weird, but whenever my mom would have a problem or whatever, she'd get pissed off for something that I did, my guides would immediately come in and say, "She's mad because of X, Y, and Z. It isn't really you because you got in trouble."
Crazy.
And I would be like, okay, it was more like I don't know how else to explain it other than it was more of like a father figure
Yeah.
type of energy. So we lose that when we started getting in the material world. I got bullied big time in school. I'm talking from the 3rd grade. We moved from the valley into Simi Valley, and I got bullied from like the 3rd grade all the way until the 8th grade, like nonstop. Like there was times where I was like, so I used my ability as a defense mechanism.
Okay.
So I would tap in, and like if we went to school together, I would tap in and be like, what's her problem? Tell me. And I would play you based on that.
Wow.
Even with teachers. I know it sounds shitty, but that was my only
no,
way.
What
that's
could you do?
amazing.
Why?
I
How
want
would
that
you?
magic
Yeah, I mean,
power.
obviously, but you know what it is though, because at the end of the day, maybe if you're offended or you feel hurt or you feel scared or you feel vulnerable, your defense mechanisms comes up, but you don't really try and figure out what the root of the problem is. Why do I feel this way? Why is this person doing that to me? And that's basically what you were doing. So maybe you could find empathy, and it's not like you were, using this against people potentially, but you're also like, oh, listen, she's a hurt individual and she's very insecure and she's taking it out on me. Like it actually is probably very helpful to just having empathy and understanding human beings,
They were so detailed. They would tell me, because I got called spick, wetback, all kinds of weird. Like I'm talking.
Oh
about
yeah,
at,
probably
like, the
horrible.
5th
Yeah.
in the 5th, 4th grade. You know what I'm saying? So
Wow.
I was like, what are these words? I didn't even know what they were. And again, it sounds gay, but my guides would come in and say, it's not them. Where did they learn that from? They learned that from who? And I was like, I don't know. Their parents.
Yeah.
And then they were like, so whenever they would be like back to school night and I'd see their parents, I would start reading the parents and realizing what was going on there. Or if the teacher, I remember I had my 5th grade teacher was a major bitch. Her and I got into it all the time. And I had told her, it's not my fucking problem you don't get along with your husband.
No.
Why would you come in and take...
She must have been like, what the
Yeah.
fuck?
like how do you know?
The very
Wow.
first time I got suspended was in 3rd grade because of my big mouth.
Because you couldn't, at that point, you're like, I can't
It
help
was a
myself.
defense
Yeah, you
mechanism.
But
can't
also, you
help,
probably
yeah.
didn't know when and where to use it.
Yeah, when
like
you're
when
so
you're a
young,
child,
yeah.
like you're probably not like I should probably table this.
Yeah.
Like they're not ready.
Yeah, but that's all part of honing your abilities and listening to it and using
And
it.
maturity,
And,
using
Yeah.
it for good.
Right.
I mean, come on, that's a big thing to be able to know and a big responsibility to shoulder. In the,
Like you're not gonna like go say to the kid next to you in 5th grade, like, "Ooh, your grandpa's here."
Yeah, like what are you gonna say? Okay, well let's listen. So now we talked a little bit about how to pay attention to your gut and your intuition, and you just really need to like listen to pay attention to the signs and don't be afraid
It'd be the same thing. Just look at it this way. It'd be the same thing as talking to somebody else, but you're talking to yourself. Have that conversation with yourself. You get examples.
But that's okay. It's not schizophrenic.
No.
Oh,
no.
cool.
Oh, come on, you're
Well,
fine.
I listen. I know there are people that are like they think that like maybe like well I'm just saying these things like I've lost my mind. Like why am I saying this? Like because we don't know what it means. Or we're not in school and they're like, okay, well, if you hear this extra voice in your head, like maybe one day you'll pick up an Eckhart Tolle book and you're like, oh, that's the id or the ego or whatever. But like when we talk to you, you can say, that is this. You should actually pay attention to that and ask it questions or ask for.
Just keep going, keep diving deeper.
Right.
Don't be afraid to follow through for what you're hearing or ignoring signs. So just whatever that looks like for you.
But
Okay?
why do a lot of people say hummingbirds are a sign? Like a dime is a sign, like a feather is a sign. Well, that's really
Well,
cool.
that's
They're
like-
in nature. Of course, they're going to be
But
around.
that's like a sign of someone who's crossed over a butterfly and stuff like
yeah,
that.
but
They
why
say.
those things?
It all again. I'm going to say this without offending the whole metaphysical community. What sets me apart is I'm
Because he talks to them, so he
Right.
would know.
Yeah, I don't think there's people would say there's meaning in everything, but you start doing that kind of shit. You start following signs, and like you said, a dime, a hummingbird. You start living your life like that, and you become lost.
Yeah.
You're not paying attention to
chasing.
reality.
Well,
and what's
that right.
going
So
on.
now I'm hunting for those signs,
Okay,
or
but-
like flickering lights, or
Okay.
like
My
I'm
love,
like,
you know what's going on with you.
Okay, well,
Right.
let's start. Okay, now we're in it. We're in it to win it.
Yeah.
We've got 20 minutes. Let's start the reading. So whatever you're feeling, we are welcoming you. We would love to hear about love and relationships, and if anyone is speaking to you from the other side,
Okay.
we would let and
Like Adele.
whoever you need to go with, whatever you're feeling,
Yeah.
you just tell us and we'll
or if one is stronger than the other, we want to just talk to them. That's fine too.
Yeah.
You guys have got, like I said earlier when we first got together, you guys have 2 separate life paths, obviously, right?
Yes.
Yours is more of a when I say personal journey, I don't want the metaphysical community to say, well, everybody's journey is personal to them, but yours is overcoming what you didn't overcome. And I don't want to use the whole past life thing, but it's true though. You brought
Yeah.
some of that energy here, and you're so stubborn in certain ways that you can't see past your own nose. Sometimes you get stuck. You trip over your own feet. You get in your own way. So it's acknowledging what's going on and really allowing it to, I don't want to say develop like you, but allowing it to happen in actually authentic. I don't want to get too hokey here, but authentically allowing it to happen without feeling like, is this real? Do I deserve this? Is this, you question a lot of stuff. I feel like you feel like you're not worthy sometimes, and that's bullshit. And if I can make a prediction really fast here too,
Yes.
hold me to it. It's live, so I'm picking up. There's going to be some romantic changes on the horizon for you coming this October.
Hey guys, Steve in the booth.
Hi.
Hey, shout out to the podcast listeners. Chris, can you indicate which you are talking to?
Oh.
Oh, right.
Jen.
Jen. We have
Talking to Jen.
listeners that can't
I'm
see.
sorry. I'm
Thank
talking
you,
to
No,
Jen.
it's fine. We
because,
forgot
yes.
too. We're very
He was,
involved.
thank you
Thanks,
very much.
Steve.
That
Yeah,
is
guys.
very helpful.
Forgot about that whole
he was
podcast
talking
element.
he was talking to Jen, everybody, for
Right.
that whole when the reading started. That is all Jen.
Jen is going to find love. Wait. Okay. So now I'm gonna
And
get.
let me
yeah.
give you a little bit of a futuristic type hit here.
Okay.
This is for you, not for
Me,
This
Jen.
is
I'm going
for
to tread
Jen.
lightly with you. With this one here. This one. This is going to be a lesson, but this is going to be a lesson in being comfortable. What I mean by comfortable is this person allowing you to be who you are, but not allowing you to give excuses for who you are. So it's going to be, I don't want to say that you haven't been in an adult relationship yet, but this person, someone that's actually going to, just like how it happened with me, going to teach you the lesson of being able to let go. Kind of, I don't want to say a father figure type thing, but allow you to feel comfortable, to feel that you need security.
I sure do.
And I feel like that's what he's going to provide. He's going to provide to you.
Oh my God. Wait. So do I meet him in October? Do we start getting serious in October? Do I meet him on an app? Where is he?
I'm gonna put this out there, and I always say this. He's gonna make a guest appearance in October, and I feel like this is gonna be face to face. I don't know. Do you go on the apps?
I do,
Really?
but I don't feel a connection to them at all. Like really, because I feel like I'm a very specific personality, and to me, it's just like another task, and I'm like, I don't need more homework.
So one other thing that comes in. So between now and October, it's a long time from now. Things are gonna start to get a little tight for you in June of this year. So right before you meet Mr. Wonderful here, June is gonna be a time where you're gonna have to start really letting things go. I feel like there's gonna be some frustration, irritation in you to kind of be like, okay, I'm fucking done with this. Like to get you to move your ass there, like you're like it's time to fall off there. And I feel like again to talk about the soul, your essence, your presence, what makes you behind the makeup and the beautiful hair and all that good shit is your soul, the light. You're not allowing it to evolve. Your material mind keeps fucking with it. You keep bringing in material shit in the world's problems into your personal space. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but like what world problems?
Like dating or not feeling or past relationships or things that people have said to you. You're allowing the material, I don't know if that makes sense when I say the material world, you're allowing the material world to infiltrate your mind.
Yeah, like the outside.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay.
Because again, I would find it hard to believe that you don't know what that you honestly don't know what it is that you want in a relationship. You have a hard time letting go. That's it.
I have a hard time letting go. I feel like of the control, just because not even in relationships. It's more just of my own life
Capricorn
and
love-
letting myself like fail in any way.
But you're not. But do you really think that you would allow yourself
Never.
to? Exactly. So what are you so worried about?
I don't
That's
know.
what I tell my daughter. She's the. That's why I'm telling you. I work with Capricorn energy very well. You guys do not. You guys for being an earth sign and having all that warmth there. You guys lack. You guys can't get below the surface sometimes. To you, it's not practical sometimes to you guys, when that's where you need to go.
Okay.
So again, everybody, audience, hold me to this. June, again, going to be a difficult time. I'll be here to help you out if you need it.
Thank you.
And then October,
I need it.
October, I want to meet him to see if he's the one.
Oh,
I'll vet him for you.
my God.
Yes.
Yeah.
He'll just be like,
But you got some major things to fall off here, coming to realization.
I heard also because Saturn's in my sign or something.
So you're ruled by Saturn.
Stupid Saturn.
It's less.
what does
it's
that
the
mean
father.
to everyone? Jen is ruled by Saturn. What does that
What
mean?
does it mean?
Saturn is the planet of the karmic planet. It's the father. It's the teacher. It's a lesson. So they have to know what they're getting themselves into before they get into it. They have to look at everything at a whole and be like, okay, before they make a move. They like structure. They like things to be put in place for them.
Okay.
So
Story
again,
of my life.
So again, with the guy coming in, think about what I said here. I'm not basing this off your astrological sign, but I'm saying that when he comes in here, he's going to, instead of you teaching him the lesson or you taking that responsibility, it's going to be the other way around.
I love
here.
him already.
So again,
He's gonna be strong and healthy and stuff.
don't push it away though.
No, I won't.
And
I'm so
don't-
excited. I'm gonna be counting the days till October 1.
Or maybe it's going to be my birthday.
Maybe. Also, though, is he the guy like forever? Is this just a lesson?
He said he doesn't know.
No, but I have to know. I can't waste more
I know.
time
Trust
with
me.
these schmucks.
It's going to be exactly what you need at the time that you need it.
Oh,
Let me put it that way.
man.
No, don't. There you go again. Don't do that. Don't shit on it yet.
Well,
Look
no,
for-
it's more
yeah.
that I'm scared you know more and you're just saying a nice answer.
No,
To wrap it in a bow.
I don't bullshit.
Well, I like the truth. So if you're like, it's one more lesson, I'd be like, okay. I like to manage my expectations.
But maybe he doesn't.
Which
that's
is probably,
what he's
it's a problem
seeing.
of letting go. I
He's-
don't want to. 'cause I want to know.
I know. I'm the same way, but he's just seeing that, and maybe there's a reason why that's all it is. He
Let me-
can't say.
Let me tell you why. What sets me apart from the other psychics is I do not get involved in the lesson here. So why was even though I could see it and I could predict it for you, what's the purpose of giving you it all and taking that lesson? You're not going to learn anything about it.
But okay, so if you don't give it to me, do you know it? Like, okay, so you say you don't get involved. Does that mean you're not going to give me the lesson, but you see like a trajectory? You're like, okay, and in 3 years they're going to have a first child, and in 6 years they're going to have a fight.
I'm going to tell you not to worry about it, honestly. I feel again, this is going to be the relationship that's going to get you to evolve.
I feel like my guy, it like theoretically like holds my head while I'm swinging. Like okay, calm down, little one.
She'll tire herself out.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm like a little
Yeah.
puppy that
And
like
that's
is so excited.
what somebody like you and I need, though, is somebody to be able to be like, okay, let them, but without treating us like shit while they're
No,
doing
like
it.
nice,
Oh,
like
yeah,
like
that's a
almost
hard
like
thing to do.
adoring and like loves you for all the qualities you have, but it's like
Yeah, because it can
You're
become.
silly.
It can be feel patronizing if
Right.
not done right.
Exactly.
Totally. And then you shut down and you're like, motherfucker,
Like somebody
go.
sitting on top of your fucking shoulder.
Hell no.
Oh no, but I feel like I can't be patronized because I will
no.
repatronize you if that's
Yeah,
a thing.
it's
I
like,
will
tit
patronize
for
your,
tat.
I
Yeah.
will show you with a
Yes.
PowerPoint why that's not right.
Oh my God.
And you mentioned that are you in therapy, you said?
Sure am.
Okay, how's that going for you?
I love her. She's texting me right now.
Okay.
Shout out to Dr. Rompton. I think that's illegal, actually, what I just did.
Well,
it's
that's
fine.
all right.
Call her.
So are you good with yours?
Oh, I love her, actually. It feels like a friend that's like super educated and stuff.
Okay.
And she talks to me like a human and not like a.
Make sure, just one thing though, before you get, again, I'm not shitting on psychology or psychiatry here. Make sure that you're actually getting something out of it. You're not becoming codependent on just having somebody to talk to you because it's comfortable.
It's not. It's more actually. So I recently went through a death. My dad died. And it's like a very lonely experience. Hello, world. Sorry you're all listening to this. But anyway, so it's a conversation that not many people want to dive into for real. So I just like don't have that with them because I'm like, they don't really want to talk about death and like my feelings about this. Like I'm going to just stay happy and like normal around certain people. So it's nice to have her to talk to about those things and like grief and more like, should I be dating right now or am I still grieving? She's like, just go on one date. If you don't like it, don't go again with that person. But like you should leave the house, like go do stuff. And so she and I have like real conversations about like where I'm at, and I'll be like, am I crazy? She'll be like, no, you're not crazy.
I've
You're
asked
fine.
that to therapists too. But like, yeah, I mean, I think sometimes you get in your head about things, and
Yeah.
it all.
I don't rely on her. She's just a nice sounding board for things I don't know about, like human behavior or like what's normal for grieving. I'm like, am I depressed? She's like, you're not depressed. You leave your house every day and you smile and laugh.
These are helpful things when you're just trying to function as a normal person in work or in love or whatever.
I feel like for me, she would be like talking to you because I just want to know stuff. And then I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna go do my life. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for this moment.
Just to have like the support.
Right.
Yeah.
And information that I don't necessarily know. Like I could Google, but I don't know that I'm gonna get what you're gonna tell me or what she's gonna tell me or
Right.
what
It's
Lauren's.
different to connect with a human than
Yeah.
to just read something, whatever, you know.
But I don't rely, again, I'm a Capricorn. I don't rely on anybody or anything other than myself. So I don't rely on her. She's just nice to have.
Good. As long as you don't become codependent on her.
I'm not. Do you see that in my future?
No, I don't see that either. Just giving you that. Yeah, I'm
He's
just.
just saying.
So with you, are you good with yours?
Yes.
Unless you want to tell, fine, Lauren, you can have information.
We have a limited amount of
Okay.
time.
Fine,
So-
you get 11 minutes.
So with you, your path is different here. I know that you're involved in a relationship here, and I'm not shitting on that in any way, shape, or form here. But you came here. Your life force is a little bit different here. There's more. I'm not saying that shitting on yours, but
Jen,
yeah,
she's talking
on Jen.
about Jen.
I'm not shitting on Jen, but you came here to achieve and to succeed as far as your career. So I feel like with you that there's going to be some opportunity coming into play here to kind of branch out and do bigger and better things here. So I see some producing credits. I'm not familiar with the terms here. So producing, directing, anything that's your idea that you put out there that you pitch and you get the credit for here.
Okay.
So there's going to be a lot of that coming, and I just see. What's going on with television in you?
Ideas of show ideas and things of that nature, like trying to, I have
Pitch
an idea,
reality
yeah,
shows.
pitch.
We write treatments. I'll just speak for us because we do it together, unless you do these on your own. But so we create reality show ideas, and we have someone we pitch them to, and there are other things that are involved in that for TV.
I'm not patting this down and trying to make it all, beautiful because I'm on the show here, but there's going to be, I am not, if you're worried about your financial success or your career, I wouldn't worry about it. For me, I don't see failure there. I see money coming in. I see spotlight on you. I see I see you come again. I see you coming out into your own and actually getting seeing the fruits of your labor, kind of seeing like, wow, this really paid off. It wasn't that's what I see happening with you here.
Oh my God, will you hire me one day?
Yeah, totally.
Perfect.
You're hired.
Thanks.
And as far as relationships concerned, the only problem I see with that is that as time goes on here, I see that with you getting busy and having the success and getting out there, I just question how that's going to play out in the relationship. I'm not calling doom on that. I just want you to make sure that there's some sort of understanding or talk with that person when that time comes here.
Finding the balance.
Well, you guys are really good communicators together, you, Lauren, and your boyfriend.
Yes.
So I feel like maybe now that she knows to be prepared, that it could be tricky.
And with him, like I was saying earlier, a lot of times they didn't get to hear what we said earlier on. I don't know if you want me to touch on that on him personally.
Yeah, sure.
He's going to be coming to that crossroads here. He's going to be put in the, okay, do I go right or do I go left? Do I go right or do I go straight?
Personally,
here? Yeah, with himself here, he's got to stay on. If his dream is to do whatever it is that he wants to do, he's got to stay on. He can't give up. So he's got to be pushed here. He can't get stubborn or set in his ways.
Okay.
That's what
so he needs somebody that's going to sort of help cultivate that.
But at the same time, do not coddle him.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I could maybe be guilty of that sometimes.
And you mentioned that he had a daughter. Was that a picture?
Yes.
Okay. What's his relationship like with his daughter, and what is she like?
His relationship is very good.
Uh-huh.
They're very close and loving, and she is very loving and very smart.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Does she? What's her? Do you know what her creativity is like?
Yes.
Because she's going to be, how old is she, like 4 or 5?
She's 8.
8. She has the creative bug seeped into her yet?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's something about the arts that comes into her future here. So I don't know because I see her mimicking shit that she sees on TV.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
She has a fake nail salon, and she does your nails and then tells you owe her money.
She's
Plays
very
nail
creative.
salon.
Yes, you're correct on that.
I don't see anything horrible happening with her future or anything like her, but she just seems very different. What I mean by different is almost like a little lady in a little girl's body. There's something. So how is the relationship with him and her though?
Good.
So they're open. Does she live with him?
Part time, yes.
Okay, and okay, we can talk about it some other time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just see. Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, their relationship is great and very loving, and it's actually one of my favorite things about him, that he's such a great dad, and
She's gonna help him later on.
yeah,
She's
What
gonna,
way?
in a God, I'm just gonna put it out there in an emotional way. He's gonna look to her, and that's gonna be. I guess everybody could say, well, just take a psychic to figure out that a daddy's good luck charm or main focus here. But it's the way that she's gonna word something to him that's gonna spark that. You're right. I'm gonna get up again. I'm not predicting horrible shit in his future, but give him more of that oomph to go out there.
Okay.
Something that she says to him. She's gonna have a way with words.
okay.
Watch for the lying though. Does she lie yet? Does she exaggerate the truth?
She's very dramatic.
Yeah.
So
So he's
but,
gonna.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. All right. And before we wrap up, and I don't want to like push this issue, but do you feel, is there
What's my
anything-
guy's name?
Wait, Jen.
I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Didn't you say you were going to tell me like what he looks like and stuff?
You want me to tell you on air what he looks like?
Of course I do.
Okay.
Then they'll start showing up. Sorry.
I want to say. See, I have a problem. So I'm not gonna mention age here. He seems,
No, please. I'm such an ageist and a heightist.
But he look. I don't want to. That's the thing. I don't want to scare you off and say I don't want anybody older.
No, I
whatever.
do.
He
But
looks older.
He looks older.
Of course he
But
does, because that's what I want.
But he doesn't act like an old man though.
That's what I want.
there's-
Not an old man that looks old
There's
and
something,
manly.
I kind of feel like there's something about his professional life that leads into his everyday life here. So again, I want to say that I don't want to say predict the perfect guy here because we're on air, but he seems to be fit, and there's something about God, I'm so gay when it comes to this.
He's so funny when he says that. He doesn't really mean it, guys. He's just using it as a term of endearment.
He's into like outdoorsy type things and going out and doing in being active.
Do I have to go camping with him? I don't want to.
No, I
Okay,
don't think
good.
no. That's how he goes and blows off steam. I feel like the lesson that here, I feel like he's very connected to who he is. There's some sort of issue that he had. His mother plays an important part in here too. So I'm kind of wondering if she's passed on.
I would love that. Not that I want his mom to die,
But
but
then you
someone
can-
that connects on that level
yeah.
with me.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, because I feel like it is a very unique experience, and for someone to not understand it and be with them, it's like hard to be so completely vulnerable because it's like, well, you don't get it, so I'm not going to keep talking about it. And I feel like they'd be more open to hearing about it.
Yeah,
because
well,
we could
it's
trade
just a
stories
relatability
things.
and stuff,
Right.
yeah.
But you're saying all the things that I feel inside when I talk to myself and think I'm crazy. But like I do want somebody that is older but has a young spirit, wants to go adventure and do all the things, but also is like, I'm too tired from work. Like, can we stay in?
Oh my God, like what happens with me and
Yeah.
my boyfriend every Friday night.
Like I want someone that like is manly and masculine, but like fun and like lighthearted and like a light, healthy human.
Well, you guys
and
were,
stuff.
Chris, you were speaking of, maybe his mother passed on, and we've been talking about that. Is there anybody from the
that's
other
what you were gonna say.
side coming through? For
I'm
you?
not again.
Not picking up on
I'm not
anything.
picking
That's
up
fine.
anything,
Okay,
yeah.
no pressure. Just asking.
That's fine.
Okay. I just was
No,
wondering.
my dad's probably watching. He's not listening.
He's like, listen,
he's not trying
I'm not
to like
doing this right now. I'm just,
He's very carefully watching. He's not like gonna involve himself.
Okay, I'm just curious.
He's gonna send me a note later.
Do you have any advice for, if you were going to wrap up, like advice for her, advice for me, based on what you are feeling and just through talking with us?
I'll start with you, Jen.
Let go.
Yeah, no, just be more willing to put out there what it is that what it is that you want and what you're looking for. Do not settle, but be true to who you are. Understand that you come with these quirks, and let these quirks fall off of yourself. Stop making. I don't want to say you're making excuses, but at some point you are though. Let it go. you're a good person. You got a good, kind soul. You play sarcasm very well, so you feel like you use that as a defense mechanism. But underneath all that shit, you're a good person. You just you have. I feel like you deserve to be happy. Stop talking yourself out of it.
That's good advice. And I bet you a lot of people can relate to that too.
I'm sure.
Be kind to yourself when you're having these inner psychological conversations with your gut or your intuition or your schizophrenic self.
So let me make one prediction for you before we go here.
Okay.
So I mentioned October for her. Around August, September of this year, there's going to be opportunity coming in for work here, but I want you to be July for you is a very important month for you. So if you're going to start to feel that. We talked earlier about sitting on that clock and start getting that out there. Start putting yourself out there more and your ideas here. There's going to be a flood of more shit coming in. So I said July as far as like that fire coming in making you kind of make a decision that's gonna take place in that August time frame. April is going to be, just like I told her, it's going to be a very thick month for her. That's going to be more of like more work seeping in here. I'm not saying that relationships aren't important for you, but you can, again, get the work thing out of the way, achieve what you need to achieve here, because then everything else, they'll have more time to focus on everything else and really put your all into it here.
Okay.
But either way you shape it, or again, if this was wood, I'd knock on it. Your career is going to really take off.
Okay.
Yeah, you.
Well, I can cheers to that.
Cheers to you. But also, now, how often should somebody see a psychic, speak to a psychic? How often can we rely on you?
You can rely on me all you want. As far as psychic readings here, I always tell people I don't like to read them more than 2 or 3 times. But
Ever? Okay.
Or no. If I was going to read you, I would want you to check in with me maybe like around end of April going into May.
Like if you see something happening at a certain point, you want to check in.
Yeah, but I'm not here to take advantage or take money from people. So I don't feel like I don't want people becoming dependent on me and relying on everything that I say.
Yeah,
me just
that's
taking
right.
their money and all that bullshit. So I do a lot of, I'm going to put this out there real fast. I do a lot of follow-up phone calls for people. Okay. There's no charge for those calls. Those are where they just call in, they check in with me for about 5 to 15 minutes. We bounce ideas. I see where you're at. If I need to kick you in the ass, we kick you in the ass and get you going. But there's no.
I like that. I like that you're not just like, these are the things and do the things. Like you're more of a guide that has information that you're helping sort of guide through to navigate into the right direction without just saying to do it.
And it's a process. Yeah. You're discovering who you are and what's going on here. So you're not going to get it right away. So why would I take advantage of that, or why would I not be there for you as you're transitioning into who you are?
I love that. Yeah. And you guys pay attention to your gut and your instinct and help yourself transition, and don't rely on other people or anything, therapists, psychics, like that's all helpful, but you really, what it comes down to is really listening to the signs and the things.
Spend time on you.
Spend time on you.
What are you worth?
And Chris, tell everyone where they can find you.
They could find me at chrismedina.guide or at psychic Chris M on social media.
Okay, great. And thank you so much for coming.
This
was amazing. Like everything you said was just awesome and helpful. And you guys follow Chris.
Find
him,
Chris. Talk to Chris at least
yeah.
once, and then do the follow-up, and then maybe again or 3 times until he tells you no more.
And don't forget to tune in to our show next week for author Kristen Perino. And don't forget to follow us on social media on all of the things at Complicated Show. And you guys don't forget about Conversations with Maria, the podcast edition.
On iTunes. And Lauren, where can everyone find you?
And everyone can find me at Lauren Leonelli on all the social medias.
And everyone can follow me at Jennifer Golden on all the social media platforms as well. And in October, you'll find me with a new boyfriend.
That's
so cheers to me.
Okay. See
Love
you
you
guys
long time.
Love you long time. Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.